Corella again. I think I'll do one more video after this one, and it's on auxiliary verbs. But just to end up what we originally were going to do, we're talking about the difference between the active versus the passive voice. And really it has more to do with what you are saying. A lot of times when you write an essay, without always saying, I did this, or I spoke this, or the man did this, or the person worked here or did this, a lot of times it would be much better to speak in the passive voice, in which the object becomes the most important part of the sentence, and there really is no subject, right? So you could say, for example, and I have here example, Manuel wrote the answer. Now, if it's important to know that Manuel did this, then yes. Then you put down Manuel wrote the answer. But it might be more important that the answer was written, whether it was written by Manuel, whether it was written by John, whether it was written by whoever. Then you would say in English, the passive voice, the answer was written. The gift was delivered. It might not be important by whom it was delivered. Right? The food was served. Now, it might not be important that the waitress or the waiter served the food. What was important is that it was served. If the most important information is the object and the person, place, or thing that did the action is not important, then it's better to write in the passive voice versus in the active voice. The active voice is what you normally write in. You talk about who did the action, you talk about the action, and then you talk about who or what received the action. So, if active voice, right, the store clerks speak Spanish. So if you go into the store, you'll know that the store clerks speak Spanish. But a better way to write that maybe, since it's not important that you understand that the store clerks speak Spanish, because who else works there except for the boss, right? Maybe it's important that you know that Spanish is spoken. Right? Maybe it's better for you to know that the bed was made. Not so much who made the bed. In English, to do that, it's very simple. You have the object or the person, place, or thing that receives the action. President Kennedy. This is the first time I can remember seeing the passive voice. President Kennedy. What? Was assassinated or was shot. That's the passive voice. And in Espanol, you can do it in two ways. You can either use the verb to be, fue asesinado, or you can use se. Now in Spanish, you kind of have to study this one because one little video is not going to help you. But you use the passive voice a lot. You see it a lot too. When you're walking, for example, in different areas in Mexico, for example, you'll see se habla inglés. Se hablan español, inglés, francés, portugués. Right? So that's it. We looked at verbs from all different perspectives. I think I'm going to do one more, though. I think I'm going to do an auxiliary verbs. It'll be very short. You know, what are auxiliary verbs in Spanish? What are auxiliary verbs in English? These videos are only meant to give you a little boost. They're not meant in place of the text. Because a lot of this stuff, in order to really get it, to understand it, you have to study it. Because anything worth getting is worth fighting for. So, once again, this is Corella Ficklin McLean at istudyguys.com. please do not forget. Do not forget our new logo. Our new logo. This is going to be on all our products. Okay, thank you very much. And like I said, I probably do a video on auxiliaries just to help us out as far as what is an auxiliary verb versus a main verb. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.